Hey everybody, my name is Paul, as you know, and I'm here today doing my persuasive speech for my online public speaking class. And for my speech, I was going to do something kind of serious. I had a bunch of research done with this whole virus going on and everything. I just kind of wanted to switch it up and do something a little more fun than what I was going to do. And I want to thank Professor Edges for allowing me to do this topic because I'm sure that in any other situation he probably wouldn't have allowed me to. So today we're going to be looking at the Star Wars films, and I'm going to be attempting to persuade you that R2-D2 is the most important character in the rebellion. Not Han, not Luke, not Leia, none of them, but R2-D2. And I could sit here for probably 45 minutes telling you all the different ways that R2-D2 has saved the day, or all the great things that R2-D2 has done to help the rebellion. But we only have 7 minutes. So I have taken one key event from each trilogy, and we're going to go chronologically from the prequel trilogy, the original trilogy, and the sequel trilogy. And I'm going to talk about one part of them, and I'm going to be showing them over here to my left as they're going on. It's going to be muted, it's going to be out of the way, it's just going to be in so that way you guys can see. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. And here we have about an hour and a half into the movie, Anakin, Padme, C-3PO, and R2-D2 have flown to the planet of Geonosis. And it's here where they are trying to find Obi-Wan Kenobi, who is being held captive in a droid factory by Count Dooku. So almost as soon as they get into this droid factory, everything goes wrong. Padme, Anakin, C-3PO all fall into the factory, and they're all dealing with different perils on their own because they've all fallen into different sections. Now eventually, Padme ends up getting into a scuffle with one of the workers, and she's pushed into a giant vat. And in these giant vats, they are being filled with molten hot lava. And this vat is far too big for her to be able to get out of. So she is basically stuck there with no way out. Luckily, R2-D2 is able to fly over to the control panel and shut it off before the lava dumps in on top of her in the big vat. So if Padme was to die here without the help of R2-D2, Padme is the mother of Luke Skywalker and Leia, two of the most important heroes in the original trilogy, easily, and without her giving birth to them, the entire fate of that galaxy would have been completely different. Now, next, we're going to move on to the original trilogy, and we are going to be talking about what I think is the most iconic scene in almost any Star Wars movie. It has arguably a top 2 most iconic line from the entire saga, all 9 movies, and it's when R2-D2 brings Obi-Wan a message from Leia. And it's here where we first hear the line, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope." And that's not only important in this trilogy, but in the next trilogy as well, as you'll come to find out. Now, if R2 was to never to bring this message to Obi-Wan, with Luke there, Luke never would have found out that his father was a former Jedi Knight. He never would have found out about the ways of the Force that he used to help save the galaxy from the Empire multiple times. Now next, we're going to move on to the sequel trilogy. And in the sequel trilogy, his parts were kind of cut short. He was a little overshadowed by BB-8, which is a great droid, but he's no R2-D2. So here I was able to pick out 2 events that I felt were important, and they go kind of hand in hand with each other. So first, we are going to start with Episode 7, The Force Awakens. And for most of that movie, he's shut down, he's in low power mode. He doesn't really do much until the very end, when he awakens, and you can tell he's excited, and he finds C-3PO and he tells him that he thinks he found a map where Luke is. So he shows the map, but it's missing a piece. However, we've seen that piece earlier on in the movie, and it's the piece that BB-8 has had with him the entire movie. So they are able to complete the map with the help of R2-D2. So that way Rey can go find Luke and attempt to get the training that she needs to save the galaxy. Now, here, in Episode 8, The Last Jedi, they found Luke, but he's told them that he is not going to train Rey. He thinks the time of the Jedi has come to an end and that they need to move past it, and he won't train her. He's cut himself off from the Force. So here, Luke has found his way onto the Millennium Falcon, where he is mourning the loss of his friend Han Solo. And he ends up having a conversation with R2 here. And in this conversation, he tells R2 that there's no way that he's coming back. So R2 shows him the original message from Leia to Obi-Wan Kenobi. Here we hear it again. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. And it's here when he realizes that he used to be in this same situation as Rey, where he needed the help of Yoda. So he decides to train her. Now, without that training, Rey would have never went on to save the galaxy, and everything would have been taken over by the First Order. Now, there are plenty of other opportunities that he saved the day, but I feel like these are the most important, and I hope that I persuaded you to see the way that I see it and how great that R2-D2 is. And my sources, I used Disney Plus to do most of my research to find all the scenes, and then I watched A New Hope, Attack of the Clones, The Last Jedi, and The Force Awakens. And here's my mom, and thank you guys.